Welcome to the third and final part of my conversation with Bas Groes on Han Kang's The Vegetarian. In this part, Bas gives his recommendations for further reading. If you have any questions or comments, please do leave us some under the video, and if you're enjoying our conversation, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Welcome to the third and final part of my conversation with Bas Groes about Han Kang's The Vegetarian. If you didn't listen to parts 1 and 2, I do suggest you catch those first. So in this section, Bas, what recommendations for similar, related literature do you have?
Well, the first one is another work by Han Kang, Human Acts, which in a way is the reverse of The Vegetarian, but it directly looks at the Huanju uprising, the massacre that's really influenced her work, her consciousness. It has really filtered through everything that she writes, and I think that's if you want to read more, that's the one to go for first.
That's
We have been.
interesting. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, sure, sure.
That's a good point, given that we talked earlier about that sort of those missing historical events, or not missing because
Mm,
that implies they should be in a work of fiction, but she decided not to include them. So maybe an
mm.
interesting and contrasting read for the people who are keen on her work. Carry on.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. And we have been talking about feminism and food, and there is a long history in which women writers, have looked at the domestic scene, imprisonment, and food as a form of resistance. And I think in the East there is something taking place by sort of connecting these ideas. So in Japan, I think Asako Yuzuki has written an interesting novel called Butter, whereby a serial killer or murders are kind of connected to diet and maybe the upbringing and how it relates to to the food we eat, but also to Oedipal father relationships, and I think that resonates, of course, with the vegetarian. Another Japanese novel is Amy Yagi's Diary of a Void, in which a woman fakes pregnancy to gain a different situation from her subjective position in a Japanese office. So I think there is something really going on in terms of understanding, the role of the Eastern woman, and its kind of role in the hierarchy. Um, my final kind of book would be Flowers of Fire by Habon Jung. It's an analysis of the Me Too movement in South Korea, and
Mm.
it nicely connects the trope, the idea of the flower that is so present in the vegetarian, to an analysis of feminist emancipation in South Korea, showing that women are not delicate flowers, but they are trailblazing flames. And that is something almost that the vegetarian Han Kang's novel is kind of anticipating, as it were.
Mm.
So if you want to understand more of the South Korean context, Flowers of Fire is the one to go for.
And that's non-fiction,
That's
presumably from.
nonfiction. It is nonfiction. Yeah. Yeah.
And what kind of perspective is it coming from? Is it history? Is it sociology? Is it kind of a mixture of stuff?
Yeah, it's a mixture of stuff, but it really sort of maps the historical forces that have led to the Me Too explosion in South Korea, with women taking to the streets and really trying to change the gender relationships in South Korea, and of course I think this is why it's really interesting to kind of um, see them almost take the kind of trope of the flowers that the vegetarian is kind of almost anticipating avant la
Mm.
lettre. So yeah, really interesting.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you for those recommendations. It's a good selection for anybody who wants to pick up on this and go further. And thank you very much for joining me. Thanks for a great discussion on Han Kang, Nobel Prize winner in 2024, and on The Vegetarian. A disturbing novel, not an easy read, but well worth the read for anybody who hasn't picked it up yet. So thanks once again, Bas, for joining me.
Thank you, Ivan. Thank you very much.